a controversial topic where a Memphis mother comes home about 1:30 in the morning and finds what allegedly a 20-year-old man under her 13-year-old daughter's bed, and the man ends up dead. She takes him out, hits him in the back of the head with whatever she had, and he's dead. You know, but there's a lot of allegations being placed against her because the guy ends up making it out the house. He was shot on, from my understanding, on the porch. I have to come back and make sure that I'm clear about that. That he was shot in the back of the head on the porch. And so, the police is looking at it that, he wasn't a threat to that or their life, and that, he was, obviously leaving the house. And so this is being looked at as a murder one, And so, again, you have, this, we got trash out here that needs to be taken out. We know that. We know that, but we have to keep our, and I know rage, and that's the difference, and when you're enraged, it'll make you, you know, do whatever. And that's, but the thing is that we have to harness our emotions. We have to harness our emotions. Just because our emotions tell us to do something, that don't mean we have to do it erratically. That don't mean we don't have to do shit. We just have to do it in a way that we in good standing, at the end. And that's, what I'm saying? And so, the guy was under the bed and shit and this, that, and the third, and whoop-de-woo, and, and, but he ends up outside. He ends up outside. And mama gonna be ready to peel a motherfucker. You know that. Daddy too. Daddy more likely beat the nigga half to death. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker gonna beat your ass half to death. Real talk. You know. And call the, and get these peoples over here to get your battered body from the fuck from over the house. But at the same time, it's a lot of elements of this story. It's a lot of elements in the story because, first and foremost, you got a 13-year-old and should not be at home by themselves at no 1:30 in the fucking morning. It's always supposed to be some supervision there. You know what I'm saying? Got to be some supervision there. You know, got to be some supervision there. And then you got these phones and shit, and these kids and shit. I'm gonna I'm taking out some trash right now. You feel me? Yeah, I'm taking out some trash right now. Yeah, you got to have supervision, because and because obviously they saying allegedly that the girl opened the back door for the nigga, and that's how he got in. So there's some conversation and shit going on, and where she's having access to the phone and shit, and communicating with motherfuckers and shit, and this, that, and the third. And right there, that's a violation. And that's a violation. But where the supervision and the parameters, the boundary, lines and shit that got to be instilled in your children, where this shit is this is, yeah, you don't blame, you got to have supervision. You can't, it ain't about not blaming and shit, because a lot of it could be deterred. You know what I'm saying? It's not about a blame game, but at the same time, you got a 13-year-old at the fucking house at 1:30 in the morning on the phone talking to niggas, 20 years old. Well, shit, I mean, come on now. I ain't blaming her, but it's some shit. It's some parameters that need to be put in place. I mean, goddamn, you got a motherfucker up under your goddamn bed. Who, you know what I'm saying? Somebody slipping. Somebody goddamn slipping. Okay? Shit, I look at it however you want to look at it. If you at any point in time a motherfucker feel that your house is available to come over at 1:30 in the morning and be under a 13-year-old bed, nigga, something ain't right. Yeah, we get that. But that's all I'm saying, family. I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame her. That ain't what I'm saying. We trying to prevent shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Preventative measures is always the best. Now, you know, a woman ain't gonna feel safe with no nigga, and she ain't got no man, and she come in the house and a nigga up under her bed. Of course, she gonna be ready to shoot a motherfucker. That's just all it is to it. You know, she ain't gonna roll the dice with no motherfucker. She could be overpowered. Motherfucker might want to kill, might want to kill her and her damn daughter because these niggas is crazy. So yeah. So you have to always be prevent because a lot of these niggas when they do shit like that, they'll damn try to kill the girl. You know what I'm saying? These are some sick ass niggas. Try to kill the girl and shit. So right there, that was right there a roll of the dice. You know what I'm saying? That was a roll of the dice to have that nigga over there like that and whoopty. And you don't know who this nigga is, allegedly. And it don't make no difference if you know or you don't know, but that might not been the motherfucker first time. You know what I'm saying? Might not been the first time, or maybe it was. We don't know. We trying to get to the root of what's going on. You know, we trying to get to the root of what's going on, but they trying to say that the girl was talking to the nigga. And right there, you know what I'm saying? You got to, right there, that shit got to be eliminated off top. Boom. Because once you eliminate that aspect of the situation, yeah, it's that's why it's allegedly what's being, but niggas know, you don't know if this is the first, especially ain't got no supervision. At 1:30, it might not have been the first. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it ain't. But it was it was a lot of, it was a lot of parameters not in place, to keep some shit like that from happening. Ain't no way no 13-year-old should be at home at no 1:30 by themselves. How long has that been happening? Is this something that happens all the time? If it's happening all the time, and then they could get on the phone and talk freely and motherfucker know, oh, mama work or whatever, this, that, and the third. Yeah, motherfuckers will say, oh, this the window, this my window and shit, and this, that, and the third. And so you can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame. It's a shame that, but it's a shame. It's a shame that the situation happened, but at the same time, you're gonna take out the trash. It's a way in which you take out the trash. You can't just But like I say, it's a violation off top. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, you about to get brutalized. Word is bond. I don't give a fuck. You about to get brutalized. You know what I'm saying? You about to get beat up, nigga. Real bad. You gonna get beat up. That's off the top. That's off the motherfucking top. And if you don't take this motherfucking ass whooping and then you try to fight back, you most dead. That's when you gonna get shot. You know what I'm saying? That's when you gonna get shot right there. Boom. You're in the house. You're a grown ass man. You in here with this girl, and she underage. You getting beat the fuck up, nigga. you gonna get beat up. You ain't gonna be able to heal up for a long time. You see what I'm saying? And if you swing back, you gonna get popped. Simple as that. Simple as that. You gonna get beat up. Meaning when they come get you, you not gonna, nigga, you not gonna be conscious. You're not gonna be conscious. And you not gonna, even if you was, you wouldn't be able to get up on your own. They gonna have to put you on the stretcher and take your ass off, nigga. And probably make sure the nigga bones broke. Bones will be broke. So you gonna heal up, nigga. It's gonna take you a long time. And when you heal up, you probably gonna have a limp. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You be limping and shit. You ain't gonna be able to, you ain't gonna be able to be the same. You can't be the same, nigga. I'm gonna be fucked up for good. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. And if you try to fight back, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Because you in the house. But you don't let no nigga get outside the house. You don't let him get outside the house. That's the wrong move. Because it's like he fleeing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You say he going on this. Yeah. However, you know what I'm saying? You would, yeah, that's what you do. However, you know what I'm saying? You can say, well, oh, the motherfucker tried to fight. He tried. I was fighting for my family life, and the motherfucker tried. I went to defend my family and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga tried to overpower me. And nigga, I had it on me all the time. So soon as the nigga swung, you know what I'm saying? Nigga went on and handled business. But you got to know how to do shit. You can't just do some shit, irrationally. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you get a pistol, they give you a class and they'll let you know all the ways in which you can let this motherfucker go. And once you understand that, then that's how you take out the trash. Yeah. That's how you take out the trash. You don't do the shit irrational and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be in good standing. You want to take out the trash and be able to come back home and chill with your family. You don't want no problems and shit where and a lot of people feel that's justified, but you didn't just remove yourself from out of your family life probably for a while. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to sit down, and so that part, okay, you felt that was worth that, but now you and your family still unprotected. So if it's a situation and they need you there, and now you locked down, and so now they even more vulnerable. They're even more vulnerable. But anyway, family, we're going to stay on this to see where it go. We're going to stay on this to see where it go. Make sure y'all click that Patreon, man. We got Fire the Rawest Patreon page, period. Y'all already know. I don't have to tell y'all nothing. Y'all should get over there and get that work. General Seti, Etsy, One Stop, KingSeti.com. I'll be Black, family. See y'all in a minute. Boom. Black Power.